So once again, welcome back to the garage. You find me at the winter time in the UK, and what we're going to be doing today is trying to restore the heating on the split screen. As you probably know, if you have the air-cooled engines in the back, then you'll know that the air-cooled engine is the heart of where the heat comes from. Unfortunately, on our van, one of the pipes is missing, so we're going to renew that today. But before that, we're going to have to modify some of the tinware. So on the van, what we've got one pipe here, and that's supplying heat towards the front, and then on this side we've got a cap there and no hole. So the first thing we're going to have to do is remove this plate at the bottom and obviously take the cap off, but you can see we've got no hole there. So what we're going to do is going to bring that hole back again and connect it up to the exhaust system underneath. So the first thing we're going to take off obviously is the rear apron. I've just taken out a couple of bolts at either side and the 4 bolts at the end that hold this in position. So this could be relatively easy. So now we've got that out of the way, we can see what's happening. So the pipe that runs down here into the heat exchanger and then obviously into the front of the engine. This one, as you can see, we've just got the hole there for the heat exchanger, so we've got nothing that will connect the air that's coming out of the fan through to this section down here, and that's the important bit. That's what we're going to be taking off next, taking this off and having a look at what's involved. So by removing these 4 screws, we've got to remove the back plate. Pipe. So we'll save that one for up there, so that will hold the pipe on in place when we're ready. Just going to ensure that it actually will go around and that it will be secure once it's on. Last thing we want is any air leaks. So the idea is to try and keep the heat from the engine going into the cap. There we go. So that's now fairly secure onto that. So that's not going to come off, we're not going to have a problem with that. And it looks quite neat, it's secure, and that's going to be long enough to fit onto our heat exchanger. May have to reshape it slightly. As you can see, it's been used a couple of times before. Sometimes you can just shove them together and that will reform the original shape. May have to pull that bit out. The easiest way I found is put something round inside and just pop it out, so you can get that shape back, something like it was when it was new. Now this is too long, so what we may have to do, we may have to cut this one down a little bit and reduce the length of this, because I think the length is quite short. So that's our first bit done. So we've now got a bit of this concertina pipe. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to put that onto the heat exchanger, so that's going to screw on there. We've got a clamp there and that will secure it onto that position and also stop any air escaping. That's going to have to be brought back up to that position. So what I'm thinking now is if we cut that about that position, we are level with that. So if I cut that there, we're going to have enough then to put that into there, and that's going to be our bottom pipe like we've got on that one. So we'll just bring that. So that's the hole that we had before, and it's quite easy to put that in there and basically go around. I'm going to try and keep it as straight as possible. Might go offline a little bit. There we go. So now we've got something that's a little bit longer than needed, but then again I can either bring it down and squeeze it in to shorten it, or I can simply cut a little bit more off that section. So we'll give this a try again and then see how it fits. There we go. So we've got our position where we need it. Like I said, I can bring that down to reduce the length so that we get a nice flow of air through there once we've got that hole fixed on the breastplate. So what I've done is I've measured approximately where the hole needs to be compared to the other side, and I've used the sleeve to gauge the hole size. So what I'm going to do now is basically cut the hole, and I'm going to have a look to see if I've got a hole saw that will do the job. So we'll centre punch that, and hopefully it will allow that drill to sit nicely in the centre and not run around. So using the hole saw, what we've been able to do is hopefully take out the centre section there. It's a bit sharp at the moment around the edges, so we'll get the file in there, or the arbor on the drill, and just clean that up so that it's not going to catch on fingers when we're doing the fitting. So these little arbors that you can fit on the drill, they'll take out aluminium or steel. And what we'll do is we use that just to clean up the edge. There we go. So that's fairly decent now. Just got a little bit more to do on that side, and then we'll clean it all up and paint it underneath. So we've got a hole there, and it's big enough obviously for the pipe to go through with a little bit of clearance. Now comparing it to the other one on the other side, it looks like we've got the right size to do the pipe work. So we'll give it a little bit of a clean on the back, prime it up, and then it's ready for fitting. So as we are going to be painting the underside, and I want to keep the patina that we've got on the engine and this section, I've decided just to put a bit of masking tape over there, just so that the black and the grey that we're going to be spraying underneath doesn't come all the way through. So we'll now give this bit of a spray. It's a little bit cold today, so I'm not sure if this is going to go on brilliantly or not. But we need something to protect the underside from rusting. And a couple of coats of etch primer and then some black on the top should just do that. So the other thing that needs to be fitted is this concertina pipe that goes between the heat exchanger and the bodywork. We're going to put a Jubilee clip there and that one there, and this will take out the joint that we've got at the moment. The other thing that you could use is the concertina pipe that we were using earlier, this one. So this one's on the engine area, but this one is a wider bore. This is 60mm. So this will do the same job as this, as the bores seem to be the same size. The only thing is this has got no insulation on, so you're going to lose a little bit of heat from that, whereas this has got insulation inside, and it will keep the heat in the pipe long enough, hopefully, to get in the van and to warm up the van. So you can just about see in this area here, we've got the concertina pipe that goes from the heat exchanger to the body of the van. Now that does need to be in place, to enable the heat that's from the heat exchangers to go into the van at the rear on this side. The one on the other side takes care of the air, or the warm air, that's going up to the cab area. So for people that have never seen the inside of a heat exchanger, this is what it looks like. You've got your exhaust pipe that runs from the cylinder head here, goes all the way through. Heat then gets transferred through this area, through the outside casing. So at this end you've got the pipe that goes towards the back of the van, or back of the beetle, and this end obviously goes towards the exhaust. So what we'll do is we'll fit that pipe on there, so it's a good firm fit. We've got his Jubilee clip there as well. So now that's firmly in place, what we're going to do is we're just going to bend this down a little bit to ensure that they actually meet. As you can see, they will stretch, and we've got that piece there. Now that's where our joining piece will be fitted, and it will join them two up. So for now, just going to move that out of the way, so that when we come to fit that breastplate, it's actually going to fit, and then we'll feed that in. Very similar to what we've done on the other side. So what I've got that into there, what I might do is get another Jubilee clip to go into that position, tighten that up firmly so we know that's not going to come out as the van is blowing the air through that. We don't want it expanding and losing that warm air. Now we've gone to so much trouble to seal everything up. So time to refit this breastplate, and then once we've got all the screws in line, we'll bring down the pipes, and then hopefully we'll test to make sure we've got some heat in the back of the van. So we've now got the screws in. These are Allen screws, stainless ones. So we've got them four in position. And what we should be able to now is bring them pipes down. We will stretch them a little bit, and hopefully get the back plate on here and give it a try. So the good thing about this is that we've got a removable rear valance, which makes it easier to get to everything underneath and around this engine. As you can see, we've now got pipes on either side, so what we're going to do, we're going to test run it and see if we get any heat inside. So now as we've got a big tube under here with little holes in it, and what we can feel already is we can feel some heat or some air blowing under that area. Now when it is warm, and the engine is warm in the summer, this gets too warm. But today, cold day like we've got today with a little bit of sprinkler snow, we've got a good blow of air coming through there now the engine's running. So a successful job. So that wraps it up for today. We've now reinstalled the heating system back into the van. We should now, on a longer run, maybe anything up to 30 minutes, we should now be getting some heat into the back of the van to keep our occupants in the back nice and toasty. Now as always, if you like what you see, we would appreciate the thumbs up, and like I always say, if you want to subscribe to the channel for any more updates like this, then obviously it's just a click away. But if not, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.